Hello everyone, in this video we will see the anatomy of rectus sheath. So for this we have reflected the skin of the anterior abdominal wall, and now we got the sheath which is known as rectus sheath, and it is lying in the midline, that is on both the sides of the midline. We got the two muscles which are known as rectus abdominis muscles. These are enclosed within a sheath which is known as rectus sheath. Rectus sheath, it is formed by the aponeurosis of the muscles of your anterior abdominal wall, and for this we have divided its formation into three subheadings. First is above the costal margin, then we have the formation below the arcuate line, and the middle formation is between the costal margin and the arcuate line. So above the costal margin, the anterior wall is formed by the aponeurosis of the external oblique muscle. So this is the aponeurosis of the external oblique muscle. Then between the costal margin and the arcuate line, the formation of the anterior wall of the rectus sheath is formed by the aponeurosis of external oblique and the anterior laminae of your internal oblique muscle. So here we can see this is the anterior laminae of the internal oblique muscle. And below the arcuate line, over here we can see that it is formed by the aponeurosis of all the three muscles, that is the aponeurosis of external oblique, internal oblique, that is the anterior lamina of the internal oblique, and the aponeurosis of transversalis, that is the transversus abdominis muscle. Now we come to the posterior wall. For this we have released the muscle and we have reflected it like this, and the posterior wall above the costal margin, it is formed by the 5, 6, 7 costal cartilages, and below the costal margin and between your costal margin and the arcuate line, this posterior wall is formed by the posterior laminae of the internal oblique muscle and the aponeurosis of transversus abdominis. So here this is the posterior wall. Then below the arcuate line, here we can see this margin that is very thin, and it is known as the arcuate line. So below the arcuate line, the posterior wall of the rectus sheath, it is formed by this fascia transversalis. So this is the wall where the muscle is directly resting on this fascia transversalis, and this is the arcuate line, where we can see this is the very thin area of the posterior wall. Now the contents of the rectus sheath. The contents of the rectus sheath is your rectus abdominis muscle, and sometimes at the lower end of this muscle you can find the pyramidalis muscle, but in this cadaver the pyramidalis muscle is absent. And some neurovascular structures like from the superior side we have the superior epigastric artery, and from the inferior aspect this is the inferior epigastric artery. They are accompanied with their venae comitants, and they are anastomosing in the posterior wall of the rectus sheath. Also we can see here, this is the nerves which is supplying to the rectus sheath. These are the intercostal nerves. These are also the contents of your rectus sheath. So this is all about the formation and the contents of the rectus sheath. Thank you.